What the fuck is up, y'all? It's your boy Winston motherfucking Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review about the Tomorrow War before I head off to work. I'm dead tired, so just fucking bear with me. I wasn't going to do videos for a while until I got my laptop back because it's finally fixed and I can make a little set and actually use a real camera and edit and all that shit, but that's going to take me like another couple weeks because I've just been working on my days off. I've been getting called in and shit like that, so you don't give a fuck about that. You just want to hear me talk crazy for the couple people that give a shit, so let's just get into it. First of all, I want to say that Chris Pratt, excuse me, Chris Pratt is mad likable. Every like couple generations, we have these actors that you just cannot dislike, and Chris Pratt is one of them. I watched a fucking western not too long ago where he was the villain in it, and even in that, I didn't like him as the villain because you want to like him. Having said that, this movie is straight up fucking shit. I know he produced it. I don't know if this was a passion project or whatever, but I feel bad that he puts forth an effort, produces something, personally overlooks it, and it turns out to be this bad. You don't want to see that happen to somebody that you want to like. But let's just get into the first scene, and I'll just talk about the shit because it was not a good movie. I'm sorry. If you liked it, I feel bad for you. You need to watch other movies. There's Alien, there's fucking Predator, there's fucking The Thing from John Carpenter. There's a lot of other movies that this movie takes elements from that you'd be better off watching. And if you like this movie, you obviously have not seen the movies that it's borrowed elements from. But so the first scene, Chris Pratt, I think he gets some kind of denial letter from some job he's trying to get, and he's really bummed out. But they're having I don't know if it's a Christmas party. I think it's a Christmas party, but they have everybody from the neighborhood there. It's all kinds of races, ages, just a whole giant mix of people. But they're watching the World Cup. Now, right there, here in the United States, we don't give a shit about soccer. You want to know why? Because we call it soccer. We don't call it fucking football. That's not football to us. The NFL is football to us. NCAA football is football to us. I'm not into football, but I prefer American football over any other football. The other shit, it just doesn't excite me. It doesn't have the fucking violence that I need in a sport like that. So just to see a whole house load of people just totally just enthralled by a fucking World Cup game, that shit, and that's at the start of the movie, that shit took me out of it. Because I'm like, you might have maybe a couple people that will care, but you're not going to get a giant group of people of all different races and ages just being glued to the TV over some fucking soccer. It's just not going to happen. And you want to know, to prove that, look at how many soccer leagues in the last 30, 40 years have tried to fucking start in the United States, and they just fail miserably because nobody gives a fuck about that. So that immediately took me out. Then as they're watching the game, there's a guy on a breakaway. I don't know what to call it in fucking soccer, but a guy has the ball, he's leading the pack, he's heading towards the fucking goalie, and then all of a sudden a fucking portal opens up in front of him, and like fucking 20 soldiers dressed in black with masks and shit, except for one of them, the fucking girl who's in the front. They all hop out of this fucking portal right in front of all the people running towards the goal, and they stop and they have guns and shit. Now, right off, if somebody saw that, the crowd would not sit there. The players would not stand there. They would run, because we've had especially in the last however many fucking decades, we have so many fucking terrorist attacks and mass shootings and shit with people that are dressed like that in fucking tactical gear, that people would not just sit there and be like, oh, who are you? Like, that, again, took me out of it. And you need to pay attention to stuff like that, because if you're going to make a movie like this that's aimed towards a certain audience, I mean, I think this movie was made for, mass appeal, but automatically, if you get into anything that has time travel, different dimensions, shit like that, you're going to get that fucking sci-fi audience. And automatically, if something is fucking stupid or doesn't make sense, because you have to suspend your disbelief to even get into a lot of these movies. So when you just not purposely, but just fucking carelessly do shit like that, the audience that's fucking watching that's well versed in this type of shit, it's gonna take them out of it. They're gonna look at the shit that doesn't make any sense, like I'm looking at it. And I'm starting to ramble, so let me move on to the next thing. But the girl that hopped out of the portal, it's a bunch of soldiers in the middle of a fucking soccer field during the World Cup. Everyone's standing there. The cameras are perfectly zoomed up on her. The leader of the soldiers starts talking, and she basically It's, you know, it's the exposition for what the movie is about. In the future, these fucking aliens take over. They're fucking killing everybody. We're 30 years. We're from 30 years in the future. We're coming back. We need your fucking help because we are you. Blah blah blah. But when she's talking, you hear the echo as if she's talking on a fucking microphone and it's echoing through the arena. And I'm like, how the fuck? And they even added the fucking echo effect as if she's talking into a microphone to the whole arena. And it just does not make any sense. So right there you have two things within a matter of, you know, 30 seconds happening that just, if you have half a fucking brain, and trust me, I have half a brain, and I try to use that whole half. That's gonna take you out of it, and that immediately I was rolling my eyes like, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so they paid attention to the detail to make her talking, to make it sound like she's talking to a microphone, but they didn't think that it doesn't make any sense. So that kicks off the fucking movie, and then they invoked a draft that fucking everybody has to be a part of, but certain people, they don't qualify because in the timeline they fucking died too soon or something. I can't fucking remember. But Chris Pratt, he finds out that he's eligible for this draft. He's a fucking high school teacher, and get this, he's a former Green Beret. And now that's another thing I cannot fucking stand. I would rather just have somebody, a fucking average Joe, something like that, just stumble and bumble and fuck his way up through the... I gotta turn the air conditioner on. I'm fucking sorry. I live in fucking Michigan. It's humid as a motherfucker here. It is fucking miserable. Anyways. So, yeah, I would rather see, you know, just like the fucking common man. And then just really shittily, and I just made that word up. You can use it if you want. Just bumble his way through the end by, you know, have him get fucked up, but have him survive, but have him make mistakes. I would rather have that than, oh, it's a fucking, you know, you have a story of, oh, some fucking terrorists or some thieves take over a fucking restaurant and the fucking cook, unbeknownst to everybody, is former special forces. No, I'd rather have the cook just be a fucking crusty, hard-ass, pissed off at life motherfucker and just help save the fucking restaurant. You know, something like that. But, of course, Chris Pratt is a former Green Beret. And so he gets drafted. They fucking send him through the fucking portal. They fucking tell them that when they get to the other side, to the fucking future, to 30 years in the future, that they're going to be 10 to 5 feet off the ground, so they're going to fall a little bit. But when they get sent over the other side, they're falling out of the sky. They're higher than fucking skyscrapers. So they're falling from the sky. It's just, and that is one cool bit. There's a lot of cool visuals in this. A lot of cool visuals. Too bad the story and shit didn't fucking, I mean, the acting is, you know, it's good for what it is. It's just the story just fucking sucks, and the attention to detail sucks. But there's just a shitload of bodies falling out the fucking sky, like way high, and they're just fucking hitting the ground, hitting the side of the building. That was cool. So Chris Pratt fucking miraculously lands in a pool that's on the top of a fucking some skyscraper apartment building, and survives. Wow. Now, see, Chris Pratt gets this fucking sidekick right when he lands. This guy that's works for some tech company or some shit, and he's kind of like the fucking beta pussy, you know, isn't a soldier, doesn't know how to shoot a gun type of shit. I would rather have that the other way around. I'd rather have Chris Pratt's character be the sidekick, have another actor, you know, someone that you know, so that you think he's gonna live, but have him be the fucking Green Beret. And then when they get sent over to the other side, have the Green Beret die immediately. Just totally flip your expectations on their head, and then have Chris Pratt be on his own, and have him be just the regular school teacher, no fucking Green Beret, and like I said, have him stumble his way through. I would have liked the story to go that way better than fucking Chris Pratt is just this former special forces, and he hooks up with this nerdy guy, and the fucking bantering between them fucking is the exposition and explains more and more. I don't like that. It's a formula that I just really don't like. So he gets over to the other side. They have 7 days. They have 7 days on the other side. Then they come back. I don't know if they explained why it was only 7 days. I tried to Google it just to see, because I was wondering. I was like, that just, you know, why not a month? Why not 2 weeks? Why not a fucking year? Why not stay over there until you die? Because this is the future of humanity. It doesn't make any sense. But I couldn't find any answers. So if you know some answers, just keep them to yourself, because I don't give a fuck. So then when they get over the other side, you finally see the aliens. And I'm tired of these fucking like, I don't know how to fucking describe it, but they're just really feral, shitty design. Okay, think of, what's that shitbag, those two movies? A Quiet Place. We've been having this trend of these aliens that I just don't like the designs. They look like shit. They're supposed to be like wild animals. The design isn't cool. The backstories of the aliens aren't interesting. They're just dumb animals. I would rather have, if Google it. There's scientists that believe that somewhere in the universe there is this is true life. That somewhere in the universe is a planet that was like ours, to where we had reptiles. You know how we had dinosaurs, and then a comet supposedly hit and took them out. But scientists believe that somewhere in the universe there is a planet where they had the same type of dinosaurs, but nothing ever came to wipe them out. So they've evolved over centuries and centuries, and they're very smart. They have fucking interstellar travel, but they're angry and hostile as fuck because they're using the fucking reptile brain. So if we ever run into them or they ever come here, we're fucked. I would rather have that. I would rather have something scary, but, you know, a mind, you know, a whole, you know, like a whole society, a whole, you know, factories that are building the ships, a whole culture, like, you know, like the fucking Predator movie. I wish they would just do a movie about the Predator planet. I would fucking love that. I know I'm not the only one that would love that. That would be awesome. But those type of aliens and shit, that would be scarier than just some fucking beasts that are just you know, just like a bunch of fucking tigers on the loose. It's scary, but it's not interesting. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't exercise your brain. So Chris Pratt runs into his daughter in the future, and she's not just a fucking regular person. We already have the unlikely thing of Chris Pratt being this secret former Green Beret, but he runs into his daughter in the future, and she's on some Sarah Connor shit. She's fucking leading the fucking resistance. I'm not sure if she's the leader, but she's one of the leaders of this whole human resistance, and she's a badass fighter. But on top of that, she's a fucking super scientist, and you're just like, wait, what? Like, okay, how unlikely is that? But that immediately took me out. And then there's just so many scenes of Chris Pratt and his daughter. Keep in mind, Chris Pratt is a fucking Green Beret. There's scenes of him and his daughter trying to make this fucking, what's the word? Like some fucking poison. You know, out of the fucking, they capture a fucking female alien, and they make this fucking venom shit. I don't know. But there's scenes of them just sitting in the lab, just fucking creating it by themselves. There's nobody else around. And this is supposed to be like the most important thing to save the fucking future and to kill these fucking aliens, is to get this poison, send Chris Pratt back to the past so they can figure out where the aliens are and poison them and stop whatever's going on in the future. But they're just sitting in these labs and nobody's around. Nobody's around. There's no other scientists. And it's like, okay, Chris Pratt is a fucking scientist. She's like, what the fuck is going on here? And they're fucking literally just alone all the fucking time doing this super important shit. Nobody's walking in the room to be like, so, how's the fucking venom shit you guys are fucking working on? It's nobody. It is just fucking really unrealistic. So, and then they capture this fucking female to make the shit, and they have a fucking muzzle for her. Now, judging by how they're acting and the fact that they don't have any of this venom that they secrete from her to make a poison for the other ones, you get that this is the first time that they've captured a fucking female, but yet they have this specially designed muzzle that perfectly fucking fits her, and they know how to sedate her and all this shit, and they have a little fucking containment area set up. It's just, if you have any critical thinking, not even critical thinking, just basic thinking, this shit is gonna fucking stand out to you. And pretty much all the scenes between Chris Pratt and his grown daughter in the future, it is fucking hacky dialogue. It's always like, me and you, we're gonna save the world together. Like, just shit like that. And it's on that, and it is fucking, yo, and because lately too, I've been on a real alien kick, aliens, and just that whole universe, and just how smart that is. And you can argue about, you know, some of the movies, but, you know, definitely the fucking first two. And then just the whole Prometheus shit. There's just a lot of shit to dig into that's really interesting. This shit, fuck, man. So Chris Pratt gets this fucking this poison from the future, goes fucking back to the past, and him and his wife are fucking sitting there, and they, just between him and his wife is nothing special. They don't say that she's a fucking scientist. No, she's just a fucking housewife. she's just sitting there talking with him after he comes back from his fucking week-long fucking war. And somehow, just chatting, they figure out that the aliens didn't come here from... They didn't land around the time that everybody thinks. They figure out that they've been here, under the ice, for a long time. And that's why there's no impact from any ships, or they can't figure out where they first landed, because they've been here under the ice. And the ice thawed out because of global warming, which is... I know they put that in there for their fucking stupid-ass agenda shit. I'm tired of hearing about fucking global warming. Because I live in Michigan. It's cold as fuck. I would love some fucking global warming. I would love a fucking 60-degree winter. That would be fucking awesome. So somehow between him and his wife, they figured out. So wait. So we have all these scientists. We have people from the future who are fucking communicating with people in the past to help try to end this war. We have the whole world is trying to fucking figure this out. But yet somehow you and your fucking housewife have figured this out just by chatting within a matter of a fucking minute and a half. So fucking Chris Pratt and a couple other people, his sidekick buddy, and some other dude, his story is dumb as fuck and hacky as fuck too. This soldier that's dying of cancer that is fucking stupid. So anyways, so these three dumb fucks, they go to try to talk to like a general or somebody, and they're like, hey, me and my fucking housewife have figured out where these aliens originated from. And the dude's like, no, I don't want to hear it. Which is, again, it's... Okay, yeah, so fucking humanity is gonna fucking be extinct in fucking 30 years, and you just don't want to hear any fucking ideas, knowing that any ideas and any plans you guys have done up to that point have been absolute shit and not work. But you're not even gonna look at what he's saying. Okay. Like, all you need is fucking Google Earth, and you can look at the area he's talking about. But yet, you just brush it off. So so then Chris Pratt and his buddies are like, well, fuck it, we'll just save the world ourselves. And I'm paraphrasing, but they say something like that, like, we'll just go do it ourselves. So somehow they get to like Antarctica or the fucking North Pole or something. I don't think they show it. They don't explain how they get there. Somehow they just get there out in the middle of nowhere. They fucking find the ship. I can't remember how. This shit is fucking stupid as fuck. So they get out there, and then immediately, if you've seen X-Files Fight the Future or John Carpenter's The Thing, this is gonna look really, really familiar. So they find the ship under the ice. They go through it. The inside of the ship is kind of Geiger-esque, however you want to say, H.R. Giger. But from that point on, with the alien ship and everything that's going on, all they're doing is just ripping off other movies. Just the way everything looks, and it's not even ripping it off in a fucking good way. So they fucking go in the ship. They find these fucking cocoons, kind of like in the Matrix, how they had the humans. And they have these guns that have the fucking elixir venom and shit, and they're going to inject it in there so they can nip it at the bud. So there's no future war, humanity lives. You already know what the fuck's going to happen. They're going to fucking wake up. It's just like the scene in The Lost Boys when they fucking go in the cave and they stab one of the vampires. The rest of them wake up. You already know. Like, I don't think these people that make these movies understand that even if you're not purposely paying attention to how movies are structured and how they go, you subconsciously know what's going to happen. And it doesn't surprise you at all. It doesn't excite you at all. They just need to do better. There's plenty of fucking smaller writers, directors out there that fucking know what they're doing, that they need to give a chance to. They need to stop with this cookie cutter fucking bullshit. But of course they wake up, they're chasing them all around the ship, and then one gets away, they gotta chase that one down, they fucking blow the rest of the ship up with all the fucking cocoons or the fucking birthing sacks, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But one gets away, Chris Pratt has to chase it down himself, kills it, then they have like a little montage wrap up kind of where you see news footage to where they're like, oh, there's a huge explosion and we believe it has something to do with this alien thing, with the future war. And Chris Pratt goes back home, fucking hugs his wife and daughter, blah blah blah. And this shit cost $200 million. $200 fucking million. And you're putting shit out like this. And I don't know. I would be more entertained if somebody took that 200 million and bought like a fucking Picasso or a couple of Picassos. I don't know how many Picassos you can get for $200 million, and just burned it. No story, just a camera, a lighter, and Picassos, and you just fucking burn it. And that would be a better use of that money and a more entertaining use of that money than the future war. This is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm out.